Decoded.
Welcome back to Book Decoded, book lovers. I think all of us have felt like, sometimes our emotions are kind of running the show a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So today we're diving into a book that explores how reading can maybe help us kind of be a little more in control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Just being human.
It's like reading can be a tool, almost like a secret weapon for those ups and downs.
Exactly.
It's fascinating to think about, Reading can help us understand and manage those feelings.
Yeah.
Not saying it's therapy, of course.
Right.
But it's like this extra thing you can do for yourself.
Absolutely, like for self-discovery.
Exactly.
And the book we're looking at today is Read Yourself Happy by Bella Mackey.
Oh, I love her.
She's a writer and podcast host, and she's really open about having generalized anxiety disorder.
Yeah, she gets it.
So she knows what she's talking about.
Exactly. And what I really appreciate is that she's so honest about her experiences with anxiety.
Right.
It's like she dives right in, no holding back, and it's so relatable, That feeling of worry taking over, like you're just overwhelmed, she gets it.
I think that's so important, to hear somebody be that honest about anxiety.
Right.
You feel like you're not the only one.
Totally. It makes you feel less alone. Like, okay, maybe I don't have it all figured out either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, she doesn't pretend to have all the answers either, right?
No magic cure or anything.
Which is so refreshing. She focuses on those practical things you can do to manage it.
And that's where the reading comes in.
Okay, so let's get into that a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
So she talks about reading as this way to almost train our parasympathetic nervous system.
Oh, I love that.
The one that helps us chill out.
Yes.
Relax.
It's like giving your mind this soothing massage.
I love that analogy.
Right, because think about it. When you get lost in a good book, you can just step away from all that stress.
For sure.
Your mind and body can just unwind.
It's like hitting reset, And she even tells this story about how she was going through a tough time and she was trying to read a really serious book.
Oh, yeah.
And it just wasn't working.
I've been there.
And then she picked up one of her favorite books from when she was a kid, and it was exactly what she needed.
Sometimes you just need that comfort read.
Right. So it's about reading what feels right for you right then,
Totally. It's about honoring what you need, giving yourself permission to just enjoy it. Sometimes you need that escape, that light read, and other times you might want something more challenging.
Exactly. Whatever nourishes your soul, right?
Right.
So she connects this reading as therapy idea to the anxieties we all have now in the 21st century.
Sure.
And one of the big ones she talks about is being addicted to the news.
Oh, yeah. The constant information overload.
Right. We're bombarded with stuff all the time. We don't really feel any more informed, do we?
No, not really. It's more overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And Bella's honest about her own struggles with it, too.
Yeah, she talks about her own news addiction, early on in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think we can all relate to that, right?
Yeah.
Getting sucked into that doom-scrolling vortex.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You just have to know what's going on, but then it just makes you feel worse.
It totally does.
So what does she say we should do about this?
Well, it's interesting. She actually suggests reading fiction for context. She mentions The Plague by Albert Camus.
Wait, a novel about a plague to help us deal with a real pandemic?
I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but think about it. Camus' novel really delves into those feelings of fear and isolation,
Right.
but also resilience, in the face of this huge crisis.
Yeah.
It gives you this deeper understanding of how a pandemic affects people,
Sure.
psychologically and socially, which is something you don't always get from the news.
So you're saying it's reading about a fictional plague helps us process our own anxieties about a real one?
Exactly. It's a safer way to explore those feelings.
Yeah.
And it reminds us that these things, as scary as they are, aren't new.
Right.
Humans have gone through similar things throughout history, and we've found ways to adapt and keep going.
That's actually kind of comforting, to know that we're not alone in this.
Yes, it is.
And that we can get through tough times.
Exactly.
Okay, so another big thing that Bella talks about is loneliness.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
And she links it to, the digital age and all the anxieties that come with that.
Right, and the pressure we all feel to compare ourselves to others.
Yeah, social media just makes it worse, doesn't it?
Oh, totally.
You're constantly seeing these perfect lives and perfect pictures.
It's exhausting.
It is, and it makes you feel like you're not good enough.
Right, you're not measuring up.
And it's so ironic, we're more connected than ever,
Yeah, technological.
But more and more people are feeling lonely.
Absolutely. It's like we're chasing this ideal that doesn't even exist.
And Bella talks about this contrast
Yeah.
between the perfection we see online
Yeah.
and how messy real life actually is.
Right. And reading is like this antidote to all of that comparison.
Okay.
It's a place where you can connect with like real characters with all their flaws, and you're not judged for it.
It's like a reminder that it's okay to be imperfect.
Exactly.
She even talks about finding comfort in reading after feeling lonely scrolling through Instagram.
Oh, I've totally been there.
Yeah, like you spend hours on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then you just feel worse about your own life.
Absolutely.
So she's saying reading offers a different kind of connection, right?
Yes, a more genuine connection,
Okay.
like a deeper connection with yourself and with other people's experiences.
It's like a reminder that we're all human with all our flaws and everything.
Yeah, it's like it makes you realize you're not alone in feeling those things.
Right. And okay, so let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
We've talked about anxiety. We've talked about loneliness.
Yeah.
But Bella also talks about how reading can help us process those heavier emotions.
Yeah, the tough stuff.
Yeah, like grief and sadness.
Right, and this is where her personal stories are really powerful.
Okay.
She talks about crying over Charlotte's Web as a kid
Oh, wow.
and how it changed the way she thought about death.
I love that she brings that book up because I remember when I
Yeah.
first read it, I cried so hard.
Me too. It's like a rite of passage or something.
It is. And she makes this point that crying while reading
Yeah.
used to be seen as a good thing.
Right, like a sign of empathy, like you had finer feelings.
It's so interesting.
Right, it is. Like we're not supposed to show our emotions anymore.
Like we have to be tough all the time. But Bella's saying it's okay to feel those things,
Yes. Even the sad stuff, it can actually be really healing.
to just let yourself feel it.
Yeah, and reading can be like a safe place to do that.
It's like you have this silent friend who just gets it, you know?
Totally.
And she talks about this like when she was grieving the loss of a friend
Oh,
and how reading helped her to deal with her sadness.
yeah, it's like books can be there for you when you don't even have the words.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It is, and it's not just about her own experiences either.
Okay.
She also looks at how, like, society views emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how it's changed over time.
It's complicated for sure, our relationship with our emotions.
Right, it is.
So, okay, let's move on to another kind of complicated thing.
Okay.
Family.
Yeah.
Bella has a whole chapter on this.
Oh, yeah. Family dynamics can be tough.
They can be so challenging, right?
For sure.
And she connects reading to understanding those family dynamics.
So, like, how does reading about other families help us understand our own?
Exactly.
It gives you a different perspective.
Uh-huh.
When you read about different families and their problems,
Yeah,
you start to see your own family in a new way.
I see what you mean.
Maybe you see patterns or you understand your parents' choices better.
Right.
Or you realize that you're not the only one who's gone through something.
It's like it broadens your idea of what a family can even be.
And Bella talks about how families are changing.
In the 21st century.
Right, like fewer people are having kids.
Yeah.
More people are choosing not to have kids at all.
It's definitely not the traditional nuclear family anymore.
Right, and she uses books to show these different kinds of families.
Like what?
Well, she mentions The Suitcase Kid by Jacqueline Wilson.
Okay, I haven't read that one.
It's about a kid whose parents are getting divorced.
Oh, wow.
And it shows how reading can be really comforting for kids who are going through family stuff.
Yeah, like it makes them feel less alone.
Exactly, and it's not just kids' books either.
Right.
There are tons of books about families
Mm-hmm.
with all their ups and downs.
Like love and loss and all that.
It's like reading is this crash course in human relationships.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. It's messy, but it's real.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of serious stuff.
Yeah, we have.
Let's lighten things up a bit.
Okay, yeah.
Belle's a big believer in humor,
Oh, me too.
and she talks about how reading can help us find joy,
Yes. Sometimes you just need a good laugh.
especially when things are tough.
It's so easy to get bogged down in all the serious stuff.
It is.
But Bella reminds us that it's okay to laugh, to find the funny side of things.
Right, not to take ourselves too seriously. And she even gets into the science of laughter, how it affects our bodies and minds.
It's like a natural mood booster.
It is. And there's something about laughing with a book that feels different, you know?
It does. It does.
Bella says it's like reminiscing with an old friend.
I love that because
Yeah.
it's like you're sharing this inside joke.
Yeah. And she makes this point that humor can help us deal with tough emotions. It's not about ignoring those feelings, but finding a way to see the light, even when things are dark.
Laughter's the best medicine, right?
Yeah. Doesn't take the pain away,
No.
but it helps for sure.
It gives you a break, a moment to breathe.
And Bella is so good at being funny.
Yeah, even when she's talking about serious stuff.
Yeah, like anxiety and grief.
It's like she's reminding us to not take life too seriously.
To find the humor in it all.
Exactly.
Okay, before we move on, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
And this might seem a little out of place in a book about reading sex.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Bella has a whole chapter on it.
That's interesting.
I was surprised to see it at first,
Mm.
but then I was like, you know what? It makes sense.
Yeah, we learn so much about relationships and sex from the stories we read and watch.
And Bella doesn't shy away from anything.
Like, what kinds of things does she talk about?
Oh, all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Like how sex is portrayed in classic literature.
Right. Some of that stuff is pretty problematic.
It is, and she talks about erotic fiction and even pornography.
Wow, that's a wide range.
It is, but it's fascinating to see
Yeah.
how our ideas about sex have changed over time and how reading has influenced that.
I bet she talks about 50 Shades of Grey.
She does. She talks about the criticisms,
Right.
but also how it changed the publishing industry.
It definitely got people talking.
For sure. So it's a really nuanced discussion.
Okay.
And Bella doesn't say, like, this is the right way to think about sex.
Yeah.
But she wants us to think critically
Yeah, about the messages we're getting.
and to be open to different perspectives.
It's important to have those conversations.
This section really got me thinking
Me too.
because it made me realize that reading can help us learn about ourselves
Yeah.
and challenge our beliefs about sexuality and relationships.
Absolutely, and it shows how open-minded Bella is. Like,
Yeah.
she's not afraid to talk about the tough stuff.
Right? Whether it's anxiety or grief or family drama
Or even sex.
or even sex. Exactly.
It's what makes this book so relatable.
Yeah.
And so empowering.
Like she's saying, we're all human.
We're all in this together.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the real stuff.
The things that matter.
Yeah. And through reading, we can find comfort.
Connection.
Yeah.
And understanding.
And ourselves in the world.
I love that. So speaking of connection,
Okay.
Bella ends the book with some really good advice on how to actually make reading a habit.
Yeah, because that can be hard.
It can be. And she says, be kind to yourself.
Okay.
Like, don't feel guilty.
Right, it's not a competition.
Yeah, it's not about how many books you read.
Or what kinds of books.
It's about finding what you enjoy.
What brings you joy.
Right, what makes you feel seen.
Yeah, it's about making reading fun again.
Exactly, not a chore.
And she says, start with what you're already interested in.
Okay, yeah.
Like, if you love true crime,
Uh.
or romance,
Yeah.
or history.
There's a book out there for everyone.
Exactly. Tap into that curiosity.
Like, remember when you were a kid
Yeah.
and you would just get lost in a book?
That feeling of wonder.
Yes.
And Bella says, be patient. It takes time to build a reading habit.
Right. You can't just force it.
Yeah, find those little moments in your day.
Right, when you can just relax and read.
Like any habit, it takes consistency, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, reading can bring so much joy
The comfort.
and it makes you think.
It can change the way you see the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's like Bella's giving us permission to rediscover reading,
Yeah, to fall in love with it all over again.
to find that magic again.
And it's not just about escaping. It's about, like, engaging with life.
Yeah.
Learning how to deal with our emotions.
And becoming more like well-rounded people.
More human. Yeah.
I love that. So it's not about checking books off a list.
Yeah.
It's about using reading to grow.
To understand yourself better.
And I love this question Bella asks.
What is it?
She says, what if, instead of trying to improve ourselves,
Yeah.
we focused on understanding ourselves?
Through reading.
Through reading, yeah.
That's so powerful.
It is. It's like she's inviting us on this journey.
Yeah, journey of
Just
self-discovery.
6 books.
And who knows what we'll find along the way. Yeah, it's like we can learn so much about ourselves through reading, you know?
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this Slaby one, look at Read Yourself Happy. Happy is there like one big takeaway that you really hope listeners walk away with.
You know, I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier about Bella's main point.
Okay.
It's that reading isn't just about escaping reality. It's about, you know, really diving into the complicated parts of life.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to deal with our feelings.
Right.
And ultimately becoming more well-rounded human beings.
It's about embracing all those messy emotions, finding those connections and those shared experiences, and realizing how powerful stories can be.
Absolutely. And how they connect us and inspire us and help us find meaning, you know?
I love that so much.
Okay.
Okay, so for anyone listening, we definitely encourage you to check out Read Yourself Happy and see what speaks to you.
Yeah, maybe you'll find a new favorite author or see something in a new light.
Or just find a little bit of peace and quiet in your day.
Exactly. So if anything really grabs you, let us know.
Yeah, leave us a comment. Until next time, happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.